Hello everyone, Gianni here from TalkSport, and today I just want to say I hope everyone had a great Christmas and I hope you have a fantastic New Year. But I am celebrating this year, and as a bit of a thank you for all your support and the follows, likes, and everything over this last year. We've done quite well despite me not being that consistent, and that's something I really want to work on this year. But we have a few things to give back to you guys, and all you need to do is check my Instagram post and like this photo and just tag a couple friends so they can enter too. And the giveaway will actually be a bottle of Starnagloss Forced. Those of you that use this will know it's actually really, really good stuff. I'm not sponsored by them. I just use them and love their product. Now, I was actually supposed to do this video at Cafe in a Machine, so there's a few Cafe in a Machine goodies too. There's a little key ring there, which is quite cool. And then to come with the Starnagloss also came a Starnagloss air freshener, which actually smells really good. And I also bought a Cafe in a Machine gold sticker, along with their very well known quote and air freshener. So yeah, all you have to do is like this photo on my Instagram, tag a couple friends, and I will enter you into the draw. And I will do the draw on the last Sunday of January. So last Sunday of January is when I'll be doing the draw, guys. Make sure you get involved, and just I'll DM the winner on Instagram. Just give me your address and I'll post it all out to you. Moving on with the video now. So today I actually just want to give you a little bit of an update with my Civic, because it's been quite a while, and the last thing you probably saw in this was actually probably from when I was at Santa Pod. So there's lots of big plans, including the colours. There's just so much I'm going to be doing. I'll give you a brief run through about what we have done and what we're going to be doing. And as I say, including the colours. Now actually, while I'm here, and I've got a bit of space around me to show you these things, I will explain what colours I might have. Now, I did really want Midnight Purple LP3, but it's quite hard in this country to get someone to mix it without paying moon price. You can get it from America and that, but by the time shipping, import tax, and that's been, it gets quite expensive. So what I think I have decided on is this BMW individual purple colour here, or the BMW purple that comes on the new M240i, which I'll now put on screen. They're similar-ish, but one I think is a bit darker but reflects a bit more purple, which is a bit more what I'm after. I want it to be a bit darker and then really shine purple in sunlight. We're also going to be spraying that ourselves, so how that turns out I don't quite know, but it's the joy of trying to do everything yourself, really, rather than paying probably someone 5, 6, 7 grand to do that paint job. We've got a compressor, got a spray, and we're just going to try it ourselves. But yeah, I'll run through now exactly what we have done and what the plans are. As you'll see here, the car is very, very stripped all round. I'll run you around a bit now. So yeah, I mean, the idea at the minute is just to get it back down to a bare shell, which it more or less is now. There's very few things left to take out, like the steering rack, but the front subframe to come out, which I'll show you in a minute. Everything in here is pretty much out. Just got some things to spot weld off, like the rear seat bracket. Obviously we don't need things like that. We want to kind of diet the car down a little bit without going crazy with it, so without like cutting door skins out and stuff. Well, to be fair, I probably could do the doors, but nothing structural like the shell of the quarters or nothing like that. I don't want to remove any of that. That all is going to stay, so it can all be replaced to an original state if I want to later on. And for those of you that can see all this horrible tarry sound deadening crap, I'll insert a little video now how we got rid of that. Yeah, as you've seen now, we used dry ice in here Because what it does, it sits on the like main sound deadening sheets like that, as you can imagine it will, in that place there. And you can hear it start cracking, and you just chisel away at it, and it peels up and kind of removes the glue as well. Obviously it leaves this horrible gluey residue that needs, well, like thinners and rubbing down, sandpaper and that, to get it kind of ready for paint, if that's what the route you want to go after doing that. Up here's actually pretty clean still. In the bulkhead, a little bit of rust, but nothing really. That's literally just a bit of a case of just sanding it down, to be honest. But yeah, I just need to order a bagged hoover to get rid of all this rubbish so it doesn't clog everything up. The seat belts are still got to be removed. I'll bring you around to the front. As you can see, the suspension still on this has got so dirty. And there's just mud everywhere. Now, been running this car with no arch liners, so that is something I'm going to put back in, because as you can see up here, this was all fresh paint, but it's just full of mud from the road and road salt, dirt, grime, etc. But as you can see, the engine bay is very empty really. Just a subframe, steering rack, traction bar, things like that to be removed. And I did paint this only, well, I say only, a few years ago, but it was a bit of a rushy kind of job / rattle can job. So we're going to smooth all things, like for instance where this intercooler pipe goes, have rubber strip around there so it's nice and tidy. And overall, obviously those of you that have seen this car will have seen the way that it looked before, the silver and the black front end, which you'll see some of the body parts are here. I no longer want that kind of look. I want it to be a clean car that people look at and think, wow, you know, it's actually had some time and effort put into it. If you really know your cars, know your Hondas and stuff, I mean, to be fair, I was still getting a lot of appreciation for this car before, but to me, I wasn't happy with the way it looks, so I just wanted to get that where I was happy with it. Mechanically, everything's great, you know, fantastic. You open the engine bay up, everyone's like, fair play. But I just want something to look at and be nice as well. It's never going to be like show standard car all year round all the time, because it's a car that's going to be used, but I just want to look at it and be happy with it myself, which is why we're going a bit of a fancy colour without being really like bright and bold and horrible. Yeah, I think that colour will look quite nice, as I'm sure you might agree. But yeah, no, as I said, I want it to be clean, so I want the engine bay to be the same colour as the outside of the car. The interior is going the same colour as the car as well. And I'm thinking maybe for the cage, because I'm now at a point where I definitely need a cage, I'm going to do that bronze along with the bronze wheels, which I think should look quite nice. I can't show you the wheels now because they're not actually in here, but that's the plan anyway. Got a few things to fix which I will run through when it comes to doing it. Like for instance, there's a couple small cracks on the exhaust manifold, like right at the top of the branch where the the flange is. So I need to sort that out, maybe drill that, re-weld that. The exhaust I do have, I'm probably going to sell it because it weren't the highest quality of stainless, to be fair, because it was still for some reason magnetic, so it's weird, like a mix really. Just some cheap, really cheap eBay stainless at the time, and to be fair, it done the job, made the power we need to make. So I'm probably going to sell that. The downpipe needs adjusting as well. One of the big changes this year for the car is the fuel tank setup. So as you'll actually be able to see it now, this was all powder coated by Luke at Honda Works and done sort of all the zinc plate and everything like that, of like the fittings, fixings, etc. I fitted a full-blown racing dual pump hanger with two AEM 340 litre per hour pumps, and that is now for sale actually if anyone does want to buy that. Sort of £500 on offer is what I'm after for it. The hanger itself costs like £300-400 once it got shipped. But But yeah, I just want to get rid of that. I've got a fuel cell now. Again, I'll probably do it in a separate video, run through all the new parts when I have them, turn that into one big video. But yeah, the plan is to go fuel cell with the drain. So it's a little bit easier to change between race fuel and pump fuel, because if you've watched my previous videos, you know that my power is very limited by now pump fuel. So I need race fuel, put loads of timing back in. We've got a few other bits to sort out as well. But in terms of power, I mean, we're going to gain whatever we're going to gain from using the Renegade 120 race fuel. But otherwise, I'm not too fussed about going too mad because of gearbox limitations, really. I mean, you got to remember, I'm still running stock B18 LSD, stock gears, stock synchros, stock shafts even, and to be fair, they've survived nearly 40 runs of pod, so I'd say it's done pretty well. But I don't want to go breaking a box every weekend, you know, it takes the fun out of it a bit. Unless you've got mega bucks to start buying these sequentials and stuff, then you don't really want to be doing that. The other thing I've got planned while I'm round here, actually, I want to cut out this wheel well. So it's essentially like a flat floor at the back. But what I want to do is I want to kind of groove it a little bit to fit my fuel cell, so it's nice and snug in there with some brackets. To be fair, that's not going to be too hard to do. And my plan is, without having the fuel tank here, I'm going to run a centre exhaust, and literally, because the downpipe pretty much comes straight down from here, being at the front of the engine on the B series, as you would have seen before, comes down, across, down, and literally all the way back. I'm pretty certain I'm nearly almost going to be able to just go directly straight from the downpipe back, so it'll be really, really good for exhaust flow as well. And actually, to be fair, it might make a little bit of power there too. You'll see I've got a nice hole here too. It weren't horrifically rusty, but we did roll it and cut it and do some various things before, so knocked the heater over in it. So yeah, as you'll see here, it's starting to go quite, I mean, it's not terrible, it's still fairly solid, but if I'm going through all of the effort to paint it, rub it down and that, I don't really want to have to do all the paint, get it somewhat decent, and then have to cut it apart because that's rotting down like 2-3 years down the line. It was most noticeable from the inside, and it's quite a common thing, but the light seals go here, and what happens is the water just runs straight down into here, and what would be in the inside arch here, and it's just literally sits in a little puddle around here, so that was starting to rot out, so that needed doing really. For those of you that are laughing at my bobble hat, it's like -2. Get yourself a bobble hat. Another thing that I want to do, for those of you that might know or have spoken to me, the 11-1 that I have done at 134 actually is quite impressive as well. If I had the slicks unwrapped in cling film, I would show you, but basically I didn't intend to have anywhere near as much power as I currently have. I sort of intended to have like 400, and it was more going to be like a circuit car, but I'd done a bit of drag strip and it was quite addicting and I got a bit carried away really. But the car was actually set up with negative, I think it's -3.5 degrees camber on the front, so all these times and that are ran with that much camber on the front, so a lot's going to be taken out, maybe like -1.5, something like that, to allow for a bit of lift and straightening of the wheels. But there's so much wear on one side of the slicks, so there's a lot of 60 foot I think to be grabbed there. I mean, as the car stands as it was, there's definitely 10s in it easy, with a bit more setup. And you've got to think we only ran the slicks once really, so there's still a lot of setup and pressures and all kinds really to mess around with. But off the top of my head, that's about it. I mean, it's easier to run through more things we're going to do with the car as and when they're happening really, because there's lots of little things I'm going to change and do, but those are the main points. But yeah, I just thought I'd give you guys a little bit of an update, because it's been quite a while since I've said anything on the car, or even done a video for that fact. So stay tuned over the next couple of weeks. This video is going to be released, and it's quite a fun one of my friend's Defender with a 330 detailer, and we're off-roading in Greenland, so that is quite a laugh, and that is coming out real soon. But yeah, thanks for watching. Leave a like, comment anything you'd like to see, or any questions you have about this build, or my plans with it. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell icon. See you in the next one, guys.